when you're going down the lake and you're flipping the edge of the milfoil, there's going to be a certain depth that it comes out to. You know, it's pretty thick right here in 11. I scoot off to 13 and there is none. So that 11 to 8 is really the depth that I want to concentrate on. But as I look up ahead, I can see some points sticking out in these lily pads. Now the lily pads are also going to grow out to a certain depth, but that tells me there's going to be a point out in the milfoil. You're going to catch singles just fishing around and looking, but the biggest thing to keep in mind, it doesn't matter if you're flipping wrasse on Rayburn or Guntersville, when you catch one, really concentrate on that area and there'll be more than one in that location many times. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Man, that is cool. I love hearing that braid. Well, you don't think they're built good? Look at that. That's a tub. Gorgeous. Oh, I love it. I love it. Pew. Hey, that is so cool. Man, I pitched in there and he tore my crossum off and tore my pincher. I pitched right back in there. Don't stop to fix it. Just, man, I used to know this guy that had an aquarium, and when he pitched a crawfish in there that had one pincher, the bass would eat it 10 times faster than when they had two. So that's pretty cool. Let's get back up there. See if there's more. Man, I love, a lot of times, so many times they'll be in a school. Look what we talked about too. We've gotten to this point. We were back there about 50 yards. And we got to this point and boom, we catch fish. And you see just a point in the lily pads, how it kind of comes out right here. And that's also going to happen. What happens is there's a little bit more gravel on these natural lakes in Minnesota like this. Any little contour can be a bonus. And anytime you get a little point that comes out that tells you it's going to, there's a bite. Here we go. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Oh, yes. That's a good one right there. Man, I love it. I love it, I love it. Yes! Got to that other point. That's so cool. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, it's a big deal like when you're fishing a square bill, like a Matt Reed square boss or something in the spring of the year. Reminds me of a show we did on Cedar Lake, and we kept talking about the contour and seeing what rocks were up on the bank is going to be what's out in the water. And seeing these points come out is going to be a firmer bottom. Most of this is probably sand, and then you're going to have gravel where these points come out because they have not eroded over time with wind and all of that. And that's where those fish are really going to school up. So what starts happening is you just start pinpointing those and just keep moving down the lake and go from one to the next instead of fishing all of that water between. That's the high percentage areas. You want to be out catching fish when you're out here. Take advantage of those situations and know the targets, know the pattern that you get going, and that's what you want to concentrate on. Man, you can see these points on the Navy Onyx as well. Oh, if I go to a lake and I forget my Navy Onyx chip or I've took it out for something, I feel like I've left my rod and reels at home. I feel lost without it. I mean, it's amazing technology and how it allows you to just feel the lake, know exactly what's going on, where all the contour lines are, where the points come out. I mean, look right here. But you can see this point sticking out right here, and we're dead on it. Zoom in a little more and you can see the contour lines coming out. Thus, look at the grass coming out into the lake. I mean, you can see this point, you can see it underwater up ahead. And look how high and thick it is right here. That tells you that's going to have a firmer bottom. That grass really grows and holds tighter. The roots don't get pulled up in the wind when you got that firmer bottom. If you got a mucky bottom, the roots are just going to get pulled up on a windy day. You know, if you got solid rock, obviously there's not going to be any grass, but when you've got that gravel mixed in with, you know, firm sand, that's where those bass are going to be. That's where the grass is going to grow thicker. That's where the crayfish are going to be, the bait fish. The whole ecosystem prefers that. And you can feel, when I get through there, I'm not hitting any grass till I come up 3 or 4 feet. I mean, it's just a solid canopy with big open tunnels down there and spaces, and those big schools of bass just get just get grouped up. Now, there's two situations that happen where bass are extremely aggressive. When they're schooled up, they get very competitive. And I say three situations. Another is when you're on a lake that is really stained up and bass are territorial because they can't see real good. They're running stuff out of their area, feeding on movement. And then the other situation is during the spawn when bass are guarding fry. Those three situations you can take advantage of, and fishing is so much better. There you go. There we go. Oh, what's a better one? That is amazing how they school up. How big is that? Oh, he is a chunk. Oh, these are tubs. Tubs is about the thickness. He has got it too, buddy. Awesome. And I love how they get in schools like that. You can just visually think about 10 or 15 bass down there being under all that grass. I love when that's falling. You just feel like, toom. You pick it up and they are running through that grass with it. And then that sound of that braid when you set the hook is just so cool.
Whoa, that's a big one.
Make sure you keep that plastic buried too. It's one of my favorite things about the Crossum is the head is real meaty up here. You know, the first couple of samples we got back when we were building this lure, the head was not thick enough, and knowing from past history of using other products, when that head goes to ripping real easily, it's going to stay pulled down even when you got a good keeper like on this trocar hook. But you know, you'll catch several fish and be able to keep it up there because that head of the Crossum is just really thick. You don't want it pointy. You want to use a plastic lure that you're going to be able to keep up on there, and then those legs spread out and kick. It's segmented so you can make it shorter if you want. You know, this is 4.25 inches, but you can take a segment out, take two segments out, make it 3 inches, 3.5, whatever you want it, you know, depending on the area that you're fishing in. There he is. There we go. Oh man. Boy, that tells a story, don't it? With all that grass. Gosh, they're heavy. My goodness, these fish are big. Look how thick. Well, you don't think that hook jacks them too, look at that. That is through cartilage. That's awesome. That's a tub. Oh, I love it. Love it, I love it.